Aerie could help you in the fight against cancer.
And joining us right now, Grover Norquist. He's the president of Americans for Tax Reform. He is a board member of the National Rifle Association. And most importantly, he is a stand-up comedian in the upcoming DC's Funniest competition at the DC Improv. That's this Wednesday. You can get tickets for it at funniestcelebrity.org. And Grover, I should point out that I am one of the celebrity judges for DC's Funniest. And yes, I do take bribes.
Did I tell you how nice you look in that tie?
That's a good start, Grover Norquist.
Just a start.
Grover, and by the way, very funny because I'm not wearing a tie. Grover, let's talk about the budget battle going on right now. This is being drawn out right now, and we're hearing Republicans are actually trashing Ted Cruz because he has the temerity to do exactly what he told his voters he would do when he got elected to the Senate, which is to do whatever he can to kill Obamacare. And you've seen these battles before. Republicans are terrified that they're going to be, quote-unquote, blamed for shutting down the government. What is your advice to the Republicans who promised voters they would do whatever they could to stop Obamacare, and now they have an opportunity to do whatever they can to stop Obamacare?
Well, first, I think we should remind people that it was President Obama who first said he'd rather shut down the government than have this debt ceiling continuing resolution opportunity lead to more spending cuts. He was so unhappy that the Republicans were able to follow the Boehner rule. This is in August of 2011, and they told the president, you want $2.5 trillion in debt ceiling. It's going to cost you $2.5 trillion in spending over a decade. We won that fight. The sequester's in. The budget caps are in. It's actually bending down the cost curve. So the president has made compromises. Didn't give away the store. You know, we wanted $6 trillion in the Ryan budget. We got $2.5. But he has made compromises when it comes to debt ceiling increases, which he wants because he's spending too much money, and on continuing resolutions moving forward. We saved a lot of money in early 2011 with budget cuts attached to continuing resolutions. So on the closing down the government, it's the president who says, if you try and get me to cut the budget, I would rather close down the government. We have to be very clear if it comes to that, who's responsible.
All right, but you know how that's going to be played out. You know how the mainstream media. Well, but hold it. You know what the mainstream media is going to say. They're not going to characterize it the way you've characterized it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I have an addendum? I think that you guys are the mainstream media, and that the fellows we're complaining about on some other networks and affiliates are the establishment media.
I think you're right.
There's nothing mainstream about being left wing.
I think that's a good point. But my larger point is this goes to the American people in a much different way. The vast majority of people will not get their news from WMAL, though we wish they would. They're going to get it from other places that tell the story in a different way, and that's going to color the way people think about this. It's not going to be viewed as a fight over Obamacare. It's going to be viewed as Republicans want to shut down the government.
Yeah, look, here's the good news. Every single Republican in the House and the Senate has voted to abolish Obamacare. Mm-hmm. Everyone who was here when Obamacare passed, every single Republican voted against it. So we have a unanimous Republican Party, and if you read the polls, the vast majority of Republicans and independents and many Democrats would like to get rid of it, Obamacare completely, or at a minimum take away the biggest pieces of it that are the most irritating bits, and not have them take place at all. So there's a real opportunity here.
Well, but Republicans are not united on this, Grover, because, I mean, just this weekend on Fox News Sunday.
Not united on tactics.
Yeah, that's right. But on Fox News Sunday, here's Chris Wallace. He gets on. No, I don't need this bite. But Chris Wallace gets on the air and he says, look, I got opposition research on Ted Cruz when we found out that Ted Cruz was going to be on our show. There are a lot of Republicans, and the opposition research came from other Republicans. They don't like the fact that Ted Cruz is going to stand up and try to carry this forward from the House of Representatives into the Senate.
Look, we need 218 Republicans hold together to have any say in government at all. And if we have 41 Republicans in the Senate filibustering, you can delay things. We have to take a look at a couple of the challenges here. If we use the filibuster in the fight to kill Obamacare, we've already been told that Harry Reid, that he's within a couple inches of pulling the trigger on the nuclear option and abolishing, which legally he can, abolishing the filibuster, which would then mean the Republicans in the Senate are completely impotent on everything. So as we move forward, we've got several fish to fry here.
Yep.
Don't lose the filibuster, or you never have any ability to slow down or stop bad bills or bad nominees, and protect the sequester as well during this fight. I think we have a shot. I mean, Ted Cruz is getting people riled up, and the groups that have been focused on this are talking to voters. We need to win 6 Democrat votes if we're going to repeal Obamacare, defund permanently Obamacare in this fight. There are a number that are very worried about their elections. There are a number of ways this could bounce. They may offer to delay it for a year because they know it's not ready. The president's already delayed bunches of Obamacare for his friends in the insurance industry and for big businesses and labor unions, just not for you and me and for average citizens. So I think I'm hopeful. I know there are Republicans back and forth who have different opinions of what the best tactics and strategy are. Big picture is everybody wants to get rid of it. The only debate Republicans are having is, can you do it on the continuing resolution? Can you do it on debt ceiling? Can the other team get past that with Reid ending the filibuster? So there are a number of questions on what tactics work, but everybody agrees we ought to get rid of it. And I think we're better off fighting Democrats than arguing publicly about tactics.
Well, Grover Norquist, in our final minute here, I would love for you to speculate a little bit about these internal fights, though, because I thought it was remarkable that Chris Wallace said he'd received Oppo research from other Republicans. You have been demonized and held out as a demon amongst certain circles in the establishment Republican realm there during these tax battles. I wonder if you had to pick, if someone put a gun to your head and said, Grover Norquist, who's doing this? Who's demonizing Ted Cruz? Who do you think it is?
Oh, probably not. Figure out who you think it is, and it's someone else. Because really smart people are not obvious. But yeah, look. Sometimes.
Well, do you know who demonized you in the past? Because this same stuff has happened to you, Grover.
Oh yeah, but I had Harry Reid throwing rocks at my head, and there were a few moments there when we had some of the Republicans who had impure thoughts about raising taxes and were irritated that I had reminded people that those same senators and a couple of congressmen had made a commitment not to raise taxes.
You refuse to get in the mud with me, Grover, and I appreciate that. But
I'm trying to shoot at the guys in the other trench.
I hear you.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Once again, Grover Norquist, president of Americans for Tax Reform, and you can check him out at his funniest, at the Funniest Celebrity.
He is a funny guy.
DC's Funniest Celebrity Contest. That's this Wednesday. I'll be judging alongside Chef Jeff and a couple of other judges there, and Grover's going to be one of the contestants, so that should be fun. And Candy Crowley will be doing the ceremonial first joke.
Wow.
So that should be fun.
It's going to be great.
All right, go everybody check it out, DCimprov.com.